You know, I'm going to turn 60 in just a few months. And while that in and of itself is not a big deal, all you have to do is sit still and everybody can accomplish that unless something out of the ordinary happens to you. But I've been thinking about it and just being very glad for spiritual life, especially at this point in my life. It's beautiful to have spent time creating an inner world that is beautiful to spend time in, beautiful to be in. It certainly has taken away my concern or my fear about old age. But I wanted to share some encouraging things because as I look back over 60 years, I think to myself, you know, sometimes the hardest part was just keeping going, just keeping the discipline alive and keeping the dedication alive, keeping the optimism alive. To constantly keep that pressure on myself to grow as a person, to be kinder and to be more open and to be more loving. And so I wanted to share a few thoughts around that I found in some of the writings. In Karma Yoga by Swami Vivekananda, he says, our first duty, your first duty to yourself is not to hate ourselves. Because to advance, we must have faith in ourselves first and then in God. He who has no faith in himself can never have faith in God. Right? So this believing in yourself, believing that every moment is new, believing that the ideal can be reached, that there is a divine nature within you, an infinite love that's worth cultivating and worth finding and worth touching, that interior space where you can sit and enjoy the bliss of being. He says, as for himself, Swami Vivekananda was constantly talking to people, instructing them in the Upanishads and enjoining them to cultivate the inner strength that comes from the knowledge of God residing in all human hearts. To know that that ideal dwells, that divine principle is what is emanating out of us, creating life. And that divine principle is of the nature of pure love and pure wisdom, expressed in pure being. And so to cultivate that in yourself, cultivate that toward yourself. You know, we take that first verse about not hating ourselves, really learning to love ourselves, and taking our inner voice and making sure that it speaks to us in terms of love and in terms of wisdom, and that we listen to ourselves when we come from a place of love and wisdom. So having that faith, that belief that there is something beautiful in you that makes you valuable and makes you wonderful by default, and that the more you cultivate that divine aspect of yourself, really the more value you have to give and to share. He says our ideal becomes one of perfect love, one of perfect fearlessness in love. The highest ideal of such a person has no narrowness of particularity about it. It is love universal. It is love without limits and without bonds. Love itself. Absolute love. This really, to me, in 60 years, is what still keeps a smile on my face, makes it worth getting up in the morning, makes me look forward to growing old and to spending my days cultivating that kind of love in this kind of body person. So that's where the secret lies to me. I share it with you. Maybe it'll do the same for you.